I'm Tanu Sharma, and welcome to Take Me Back to the 90s podcast, where we journey back to the golden era of 90s. Our guest today is the multi-talented Umesh Pherwani, an actor, stand-up comedian, host, life coach, and an author. He became a household name in the late 90s for his role in the hit sitcom Family Number One. After 8 years break, he's making a grand comeback as Akshat in Ekta Kapoor's web series Power of Paanch. Let's give a warm welcome to Umesh Pherwani. Hi Umesh, how are you?
Hi, Tanu. Thank you for having me here.
I'm so thrilled you accepted my invitation and joined me today. It's been a long break since you stepped away from acting. Now you're coming back with a show called Power of Paanch. I do love to know where have you been during this time?
Oh, very much around, but all over the place. And never stepped away from acting per se. I've always been involved in performing arts. So it's a lot of, improv theater that I've been doing. And that's basically to keep in touch with my craft. A lot of traveling happening. So a lot of international traveling. Been to over 53 countries in the last 10 years and explored the world. I realized that if you need to be good at something, then you need to explore other dimensions. And I realized in my acting, in my craft, there was a lot that needed to be worked upon. So I got, in touch with some of the best mentors in the industry. I was blessed to have them guide me. And, I took a long break. But in between, I did a lot of work as well. I did single episodes. I didn't commit to any longer, shows because the travel wouldn't allow me.
Let's talk about your show called Family Number One. Two different families, Malhotras and Potias, forced to share a house, leading to constant fights, hilarious fights, and chaos. Such a relatable show. How did you land that role?
So I used to work out at a gym, health spa in Bandra, one of the best gyms. All the topmost Bollywood stars would be, working out there. Especially Salman Khan would be there, Sohail Khan, Sanjay Dutt, and some really well-known names would come. So I was part of that gym, and at that time, I was just experimenting with my look, and I had shaved my hair off. And uh, one of the members of the gym was a producer. He just approached me, said, I have something that, would suit your look and if you're interested. So I was not very keen on TV at that time. I wanted to do films. So I kind of took it very lightly. But then he said that, Umesh, I'm not casting you, okay? I'm just asking you right now. In case you say yes, you have to come for an audition and then the channel has to approve. So it's a long procedure. Don't think that, just by asking you, you're already a part of it. And he said, I guarantee you that if you get this role, there'll be people on the streets stopping by, talking to you and recognizing you and taking selfies with you. At that time, of course, mobiles nahi the selfies ka zamana nahi tha, but he said taking pictures with you. So that's exactly what happened. I auditioned the channel. The producers liked me first. The channel liked me, and I was called for it. And then I was part of the show. Again, it was a blessing. One of the best, one of the good decisions of my life.
Dheer Potia was such a sweet and a naive character. Do you see parts of yourself in him? How was it playing that character?
I give the entire credit of that character to my director, Samir Kulkarni. Uh, I think he's one of the best. He's still, doing some of the best shows. If you watch Wagle Ki Duniya, he's, he's heading that show, and many other shows he's done. But he's an actor's dream to work with, because an actor, I believe, is only as good at as his director. And though each and every role was fleshed out, but in terms of taking on nuances, that wasn't exactly, that was left on to us. And I kind of had to figure out how he would actually be writing his backstory, because a comedy show, usually the backstories are not worked upon that much. They are not fleshed out that much. Of course, the writer of the show is again another brilliant, brilliant writer, Raghuvi Shekhawat. He had written the role with so much love. And just one nuance I added, I kind of personally decided that this guy has to be dumb. He has to be dumb because contrasting him was Rahul Malhotra, who's Kabir Sadanand, who's playing a smart ass. He's playing a smart aleck. He's got, ready answers. He's very smart. He's street smart and, cunning to an extent in a lovable way. Of course, all of us were very lovable. So, and even Vishal, the younger kid,
But do you
Gattu.
really think Dheer was a dumb character? I felt he was more of a like a naive and a sweet, someone who was very
Yeah,
friendly with.
I think I didn't use the right word. Not dumb exactly. I would say vulnerable, very vulnerable. Very vulnerable, and that kind of created that contrast of him being a well-built guy who's into karate, who's very overbearing in his height and everything, because I was the tallest among the kids. But at the same time, I was also being the most vulnerable. I'm the one who's bullied the most in a certain way. So that I think that really went down very well with the director also, because I think by the second or third episode itself, in the first episode only, I did something it wasn't in the script. And something these guys come and they I'm taking a shower and they just kind of shut the tap from outside. So I'm full of, my face is full of soap and I'm like looking around. I don't know what to do. And I just scream over here, mommy. And that became like Samir sir's favorite. And then every episode I was asked to repeat that word, mommy. Even, after that, long time after that, I used to be invited for shows. And whenever somebody would greet me, they would, shout out, mummy.
Do you relate to that character? Do you relate to Dheer Potia?
I relate to him in a very, very deep way because uh, I have always been vulnerable, in terms of, and I've consciously chosen to be vulnerable because I believe if you let, the outside environment affect you to a extent where you lose your vulnerability, then there is nothing left to, look forward to. So when you're vulnerable, you're, so uh, uh, I wouldn't say naive, but you're so open to so many things. Then you're looking at everything with wonderment. You're not living your life according to a template. Most of us are living in templates right now, uh, following what people want us to do, society wants us to do. There is a template that has been made, and I consciously have broken away from that. So whether it's my screen on screen or off screen, I have actually followed that to live a life where I'm actually at least honest to myself of what I want. That's the reason, like I shared with you. I mean, my mom just spoke to me. She's like, Umesh, what? It's 8 o'clock now, and you're looking for a flight to get on a flight at 1:20 to London. It's like, I mean, how she didn't even have a word for me. But that's how I do. I take it's very, very impromptu, and they've actually worked for me in a lot of ways. So past experience allows me to do that.
What's the best compliment you have received about portrayal of Dheer Potia? About your
I
portrayal
think
of
this
Dheer
show,
Potia?
uh, well, a lot of, I have had so many of my so many experiences. I remember being in New York and an Indian family coming up to me and welcoming me into their house and treating me like family, saying how much they connected with Dheer Potia's character. But actually, not only Dheer, each and every character, whether it was Rahul or Aparna's character, Rashmi, Vishal's character, he played Rashmi's husband, Vishal Kotian. Kawaljit's character, my favorite, Kawaljit ji, Koku ji, his character, Tanvi Azmi ji, all of them. I think it was kind of sometimes I believe, higher energy just takes over and we don't even realize it. A funny story I want to share with you. I was traveling to Amsterdam. I was also a flight purser at that time. I used to fly with an airline, work with an airline. So I was in a flight, uh, and I'm welcoming people on board. And at the same time, I was also shooting for Family Number One. So I was doing two things at the same time. I used to fly 12 days a month, and rest of the days I used to be with my shoot. So Rajkumar Hirani, that time he had just received his award for Munna Bhai. He walked on board, and I saw his boarding pass. I saw him, and of course I recognized him, and I welcomed him in, and he also recognized me. And he said, "We'll talk on the flight." And then he spoke to me on the flight. He told me that, Umesh, this show Family Number One, I watched very closely because I had pitched a similar concept to Sony with Saurabh Shukla. He had pitched a concept, but my production house, Editu's concept got approved. So he was very personally attached to this show, particularly because he had the similar concept in mind. And so this is, I mean, how we connect. I met Sonu Nigam on board, and he called me and he said, "Me and my wife over here. My wife watches your show. She's a big fan of your show. She loves watching you on TV. What are you doing here in the flight in a uniform? We cannot. Is that your twin brother?" So, I mean, I've always done crazy stuff. So, I mean, very rarely you would see an actor who's also, flying for an airline at the same time. So,
That's really amazing.
but I made some wonderful friends along the way, and people who, are true friends. Sonu Nigam ji, I've mentioned this to you, right? I have written books. So for my first book launch, he actually flew down from Lucknow to come and launch my book. That was so sweet of him.
Yes, I've heard that you've authored 10 books. Can you little
11.
elaborate a bit? 11.
Yeah,
Wow.
11.
On
Yeah,
human
yeah, yeah.
behavior, I guess.
Yes, yeah. So everything that I have done is actually in some way connected with with the craft of acting. And acting is basically having a thorough knowledge of human behavior in different circumstances, basically how humans react. And so there's such a deeper connect, there's a deeper understanding needed where you explore it via science, via neuroscience. So I did my neuroscience from Stanford University, did my master's in psychology. Uh, Stanford University was online, of course, during the COVID. Uh, I did a 125
But
hours
still,
course
it's
in.
amazing. It's a big university.
Yeah, it is, and 100. I got a proper certification from Stanford for that. It's 125 hours. And during COVID, I mean, we all were in lockdown. So I think that has been my most fruitful year because I've managed to do so much in that one year that, I wouldn't have been able to do in even 5 years, what I've done in one year.
Do you have any behind the scenes memories of family number one that you could share?
We were just recently connected on Instagram, the entire group, and we were discussing it. And even on Shekhar Suman's show, Movers and Shakers, I was invited. I shared it with Shekhar also. I said, if only they had recorded us behind the scenes. And trust me, that would have been a bigger hit than the actual show. Because behind the scenes, there was twice as much as fun happening than what we saw on screen. See, on screen, of course, it's all tailored, it's all, manicured to look right. Everything is, kind of within boundaries. But off the set, there was no limits. The kind of fun we had, and the best part was that everybody got along with everybody. So we've had our fair share of misunderstandings, not liking each other, getting angry at each other, but all it was just like for a couple of hours, and then again we just either one of us starts crying and hugging the other person, and it was typical drama going on. And we should share the same makeup room, all of us. So in the same makeup room, Kokuji is there, Tanvi Azmi ji is there, all the kids are there because it was a bungalow we were shooting in. So they'd given us a nice big room where we would all share the makeup room. So invariably, we were together 12 hours every day. and had to bear with each other. And there was no other way but to fall in love with each other.
So who won, Malhotras or Potias?
Actually, I think Malhotras would constantly be fighting with the director and the writer that you always make us lose, you make the Potias win. And Potias were the vulnerable lot. If you saw Bharti, me, Tufan, though we tried to be smart, we could never be as smart as them. Rashmi, Rahul, and Guttu, all of them were super smart. So somewhere the Potias realized that, we can never match up to their intelligence or their smart tactics, but we will not give up. So I don't think anybody won or lost. It was just a lot of fun we had along the way.
So if you could bring back one 90s show, which one would it be and why?
If I could bring back one
One 90s show,
90s
TV
show,
show.
I think most of the 90s shows were brilliant because at that time, television was actually getting to be, everybody was having access to it and enjoying that entire, fun element of exploring satellite TV. So all these shows were superb. I personally liked Banegi Apni Baat a lot. That was, I mean, so many of them. Banegi Apni Baat was great. Parampara was good. Bunyad was good. I loved Kukuji and Bunyad. He was absolutely brilliant. Tamas was so good. All these shows were absolutely brilliant. So one I couldn't highlight. A lot of people tell me that, Family Number One has been their 90s show, number one show. But for me also, I mean, because I'm biased because I was a part of it. So
Since this is a 90s podcast, I would like to know what you miss most about the 90s.
I don't actually miss that. But if I look at the Umesh of the 90s and the Umesh that I have turned into now, I can see two different people. The mindset was different. Uh, Everything was different. So when I look at myself, even when someone in my family will play some old episodes, I look at myself and I can't recognize. I'm like, is that me? Very difficult to put two and two together. So it seemed like a different lifetime. Um, but fond memories. Nothing that I would like to bring back, but very, very fond memories of those times.
So, as an actor, what major difference do you see between 90s and now? How has industry changed? How has the
Oh,
industry
big time.
changed?
Oh, big time. And hence my taking that break, which we spoke about. So, 90s, the acting that I won't say all, majority of the actors were that it was even termed as TV acting, because that acting today will be very funny if you actually see that genre of acting. It was a thing in those days, and if you see those episodes now, it's not nowhere close to what acting actually is. Gangs of Wasepur actually changed the entire Anurag Kashyap's Gang of Wasepur, kind of opened everybody's eyes to what cinema actually is and how amazing it can be. So I had to completely revamp everything. I took this break to, whole of 2022 and 2023. I just spent uh, with the best of trainers. I trained with Rachit Singh, Atul Mongia, um, Rupesh Tillu, Ankit Challa. These are some of Avinash Verma. All these are some of the very good names in the industry who kind of mentored me into being who I am as of now as an actor. So that acting, I don't know, it wouldn't work at all. And hence I took this break. And when I landed Power of Paanch, it was again something that came about after me exposing myself to all these different schools of acting.
So, now you're making a comeback with the Power of Paanch. How was the experience?
Yes, Power of Punch again has been a blessing. with having immediately got a break with such a big production house. And this was actually the first audition I gave after a long time. And I first of all have to thank, Bodhi Tree Productions for. I was in Dubai when I got the call that they would like to audition me for a character. So I flew back and I did one audition. Then they told me that they'd like to audition me for another character. So all the three guys that you see, whether it's Param's character or I don't know, have you watched any episodes of Power of Punch?
I saw the trailer, but I didn't get
Uh-huh.
a chance to watch it.
Yes, so please do watch it. It's on Disney Hotstar. So I got auditioned first for Param's character. Then the second was for Karthik's character, and then finally I was told that Ekta Kapoor insisted that I be cast for Akshat's character. So maybe that's where she saw, my vulnerable side, because Akshat is the only positive element in the entire casting of Power of Punch. Everybody has some kind of a dubious cunning or some mysterious side, but Akshat is the most straightforward, and nothing he knows what's happening around him until a very late stage. He's not aware of what these elements are and how what is going on. So uh, I'm just a very supportive, caring husband and a father, and irrespective of the chaos around, I am the kind and very sorted person that always manages to take things easily.
As you already mentioned that you have authored 11 books and you've
Mm.
traveled 53 countries so far
Yeah.
and done 1700 shows across 50 countries. So how has the journey been so far?
Oh, wow. So, as an MC, I have MC'd for 1700 shows, um, hosted some of the best brands in the country, banks and brands, and basically awards, rewards, recognitions. It's been again great because whatever I've put my mind to, I made it into a profession. So as an MC also, I became, well-known MC. Before that, I was into stand-up comedy and I made a name for myself in that. Uh, right now, my latest thing that I'm into is mentalism, uh, mind reading. So I've been performing shows. When I do my hostings, I request the client or I ask them that if you want, I can put some mentalism into it. And they, of course, love it because they're getting an MC and a mentalist for the price of an MC. And it's a very rare thing for an MC to actually do some mentalism. You are aware of what mentalism is, right?
Is it to read someone's mind?
Yes, yeah. So basically, it is just about reading somebody's mind. Yeah, predicting in advance. Yeah,
Is it real?
it's got a science to it. Basically, it's a lot of science. It's a lot of uh, hard work, a lot of
Practice?
failures. Practice, though, of course, that is in anything you do. Even laziness requires practice, I believe. But yeah, everything requires practice. So I never have been comfortable with taking the easy way out because I don't know if it's too easy, then I don't take it up seriously. I always have loved challenges, and mentalism is a different ball game altogether. So last whole year, I've been very, very actively involved, and any parties that I get invited to, everybody already knows that Umesh is doing mentalism. So I'm always requested, okay, Umesh, now come on, let's see some mentalism. Yeah.
You can do that on me?
I can try. Yeah, of course. So
I'm petrified.
no, no, that's what, I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions, especially with hypnotism and hypnosis, that is, or mind reading. It's basically a science. So it's basically either ways, you embed information into somebody's head, you make them, say what you want them to say. That is embedding information. And then it comes across as a prediction. So basically, what I speak with you on a conscious level is just being interpreted by your mind in a normal way, but subconsciously there are messages being cued in which you're not aware of. So when I speak to you, what you don't hear is what is being actually interpreted by a subconscious mind. And when I tell you to think of something, you will invariably think of that same thing that I'm asking you to think. I have also done my NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. So that's again similar, because that's about the different patterns of thoughts we have as humans. Each one of us has a different mind map. You come with a different mind map. So if in a room we have 700 people, each one has a different mind map, and that's the map that allows them to negotiate with life every single day. So NLP is about that. But when we learn NLP, one of the things that we are asked is never to use it to manipulate anybody, because it's very easy to manipulate somebody with NLP. So it's a very deep science. You should read it. It's a very recent science, actually. Dr. Richard Bandler and John Grinder were the two people who founded it. Just it's a very recent science, just around 30 years old. But if you get into it in a deeper level, most of the actors are nowadays doing NLP.
We'll get back to family number one again.
Yes. Mhm.
अगर फैमिली नंबर वन फिर से बनता है, would you do that?
We oh man, yes, we've been after our producers with Benaifa Kohli, who was our producer with Edit 2 Productions, and Sanjay Kohli. So we, in fact, very little known fact, we actually started shooting for it also, not recently, but a few years back. Family Number One Part Two, and it was shown that we've advanced further. We've all, move ahead in life. We've lost mom, dad is still there, and kids have grown up, got married, and we shot a couple of episodes, but then I think it wasn't approved by the channel. So otherwise, I mean, where can you take that story ahead? Because now the kids have grown up, so the only way to progress it forward is to show them getting married and having kids of their own who are as naughty as them. More kids, because each one, even if they have two kids, that's quite a handful.
I wish and hope that it's remade someday. And cast is the same.
Yes, I'm telling you, because what happens, sorry, what happens is that it's like one of my favorite shows has always been Friends, you know. So everybody wanted Friends to be again, I'm sure you liked it too, right? I mean, who doesn't like Friends? I mean, I've yet to come across anybody who tell me why I don't like Friends. Friends is universal. Everybody loves Friends. So most people were wanting it to, have a remake of it. And when they had the reunion, it was superb. I mean, it was nostalgic, and people cried. I cried when I watched the reunion. We all, have these wonderful, we somewhere connect these shows to our lives, and they become an integral part. And then we cannot bear the thought of it actually, ending. So I really hope, Family Number One is made again someday. And there are a lot of people who actually want to, but then again, it would take somebody really brilliant to think of something, to write something that justifies the generation leap now.
On that note, I have like a quick rapid fire, like a 90s nostalgia rapid fire. Uh, favorite favorite 90s TV show.
Wow. Okay, it has to be rapid fire. Okay, Bunyad.
Bollywood song you hum the most from the 90s.
I don't know if it's from the 90s, but Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi.
Yes, it is.
Hmm.
One 90s fashion trend you love.
Bell bottom jeans.
90s actress you had a crush on.
I had a crush on quite a few.
You can name all of them.
Okay, not 90s actress, but somebody I've always had a crush on was Hema Malini ji. I think she's actually a dream girl. So she's
Pure
not
beauty.
90, but she's evergreen. So even today, I really, really, have a huge crush on her.
Best 90s snack.
Wow, I love your questions. Ah, uh, 90s में क्या खाते थे हम लोग?
जैसे फ्रूटी होता था, चिप्स होते थे, बोले
हाँ,
अंकल चिप्स, एक
हाँ,
फैंटम आती थी। तो आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एग्जांपल्स, आप सोच सकते हो।
या सो हम लोग शूट पे आई रिमेम्बर विशाल, द यंगर विशाल, Guttu and Aju would get some stuff, in there because they would come directly from school. तो उनके पास कोई ना कोई ऐसे रहती थी टॉफी या समथिंग विच वाज रियली एवरीवन वुड आस्क, च्युइंगम या कुछ, समथिंग आई कांट रियली फिगर आउट बिकॉज इवन सेल फोन्स उस टाइम पे नए नए थे, यू कैन इमेजिन हैविंग अ सेल फोन एट दैट टाइम वाज लाइक अ ह्यूज डील।
अच्छा, फेवरेट 90s बॉलीवुड मूवी?
दिल है कि मानता नहीं, ऑल टाइम फेवरेट।
Perfect. One 90s ad that you still remember?
90s ad, oh, Cadbury's. One of my very dear friends was in that ad. Kuch khas hai zindagi mein. Arvind, his name is Arvind Takka. What a good looking guy, and what an ad. Still now, if you watch that ad, it just gives you goosebumps. What an ad.
If you could time travel to the 90s for a day, what would you do first?
Immediately run back to 2025. Because the world was so different. I mean, I don't know how it was a beautiful world at that time in terms of, but I always believe, yeah, there's no past, no future. It's the present, and continuously got to give in 100% to this moment. This is the only truth. If you see over here, it's a stupid little toy over here, but if you can read what I've written over here, honest in the moment, that's what I follow. Just this is something I keep reminding myself. There's a light that used to light up in this, but honest in the moment. That's all that is the truth. This moment is the truth.
That's true.
Yeah.
Favorite 90s chocolate or candy?
Chocolate, Cadbury's, Dairy Milk.
Favorite 90s TV character?
The characters, I think Mickey Mouse. We used to watch those shows. Was it in 90s only or 80s? Tha wo? Early morning, 9 o'clock. So you were not even born that time. I've been to Disneyland at least over 50 times. At least, I'm saying, in Paris and in US. Each time you see me in Disneyland, I'm like the youngest kid over there. I am absolutely going crazy. I'm clicking pictures with the characters over there, and I'm acting like a little child. So Disney has always been my fairy tale.
Yes, I've been to Disneyland too in Orlando.
Mm.
It was
Oh,
really
yeah, yeah.
fun. Yeah, but
Mm.
I was carrying my nephew with me, so I had fun. But meanwhile,
Mm.
I was also taking care of him. It's like, see this, and he was not interested. He's just like, he was like 3 years old. He didn't care
Mm.
about anything. He was like, I don't know what's happening here. So,
Yeah.
but
Orlando
I,
though has so many of them. There's, I mean,
yes.
parks out there. Yeah,
Huh.
Universal, Islands of Pleasure, and I've been there. I took a special trip only to visit all the theme parks in Orlando.
Last question. So, where can we see you next other than Power of Paanch? What are your future forthcoming projects?
I have auditioned very recently for a show. I can't talk much about it, and since it's just an audition yet, just keeping my fingers crossed because if that works out, then it will be big. But I'm actually open to work now. I'm ready. This is where I want to be, and this is what I want to do. So, back with a bang.
Thank you, Mesh, for joining in today. Thank you for giving me your time. And I hope you keep entertaining us and
Mhm.
keep doing the great work.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Tanu. Looking forward, and keep doing the great work yourself.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.